first method I'm going to show you is how to make these beautiful marbled eggs. It's super easy and I'm going to show you how to do it. First thing you need is onion skin. I'm using red onions and normal onions here. And the secret here is to chop up the skin really nice and fine. The smaller the bits of the onion skin or the peel is, the more marble effect you're gonna have. So I like to collect it into big chunk and then just cut it together and then just kind of go around the bowl and cut more pieces into the smaller pieces. Make sure you have even amount of red and normal onion. Then you will need white eggs. The best, I have actually tried this with 2 eggs, so you will see the results, but I prefer using white eggs actually. Then you're gonna need a marley. This is basically like a cloth. You can get this in all the pharmacies, or you can get this, I'm actually using a cheesecloth which I'm cutting in half and then half again, but actually pretty much anything. I know in Latvia they also use women's socks, like those really tiny women's socks that you can wrap the egg around, but I found that the cheesecloth was the cheapest option and just super easy. So you want to prepare everything. You've got your onion peel, your water, your cheesecloth. You're gonna dip your egg into cold water and then dip the egg into the onion peels. You want to cover the egg as much as you can, so roll it around, and not everything is going to stick, but that's okay. You're not ever going to get the same pattern, so this is why it's also amazing. You're going to have different marble effects on every egg. I also like to sprinkle a bit on top, and then all you do, you just wrap this really tightly, take it from all the sides and just move around to make sure it's all kind of stuck together and the onion peel is almost glued to your egg. So twist it around a couple of times and then take a rope or anything that you can secure the egg with. I'm just using a sewing kit, just going around it. It's just a black one. And just use it a couple of times. Make sure it's super tight. You don't want it to come off when it's boiling. And then you always need to make sure you secure it at both ends. So almost tie like a nice tight knot. This will prevent it from opening up. Just to show you the process again, dip your egg inside, wrap it in your onion peel. And sometimes I had to, manually put some onion peel at the bottom and then put the egg on top and more onion peel on top. Just to create different patterns. You don't want to have a lot of white spots available, so try and cover as much as you can with the onion peel. So you will repeat the process with all the eggs, and this will take some time. You will be much quicker with your last egg, trust me, so don't worry, it's not going to take you too long. This recipe is enough for 6 eggs, so if you were to do more, just add more onion peel, and of course you will need to have more cheesecloth cutouts. Here I've got water, cold water in a pan, and I'm just going to add all the eggs inside. You want to make sure that the pan is covering the whole egg, and feel free to cut off the top ends from your eggs, or you can leave it just like that. It's completely up to you. Then add salt, and salt prevents it from cracking, so it's really important to add salt. And here I'm using green food coloring, or you can also use zieloonka, which is a natural food coloring if you have it in your country. And we're gonna boil the eggs for about 10 minutes or so. So put a timer on and just boil it for about 10 minutes. Once it's cooked, you wanna take it off the heat and just leave it to cool down completely. Here I've got my other eggs, which are brown, and I've done the same thing as before. I just wanted to show you different colors and patterns that you're going to get with brown eggs. So I'm following the same process, adding my eggs, adding my water and my salt. And here I've decided to add purple food coloring, even though here it looks blue. I'm not sure why, but it was definitely purple. You will see in the videos later. And you're going to boil these as well for 10 minutes. I like to leave them to cool down for about another half an hour, just so the color really gets engraved into the egg. But it's completely up to you. Once they have cooled down and are nice and cold, make sure you always wear gloves as you can get some food coloring on your hands, and just cut off the end top, and then you will start to just peel off the onion peel of the egg, and the new beautiful patterns will appear. It's absolutely satisfying to peel the eggs. I can't even explain it, how satisfying it is. It's almost like you're getting a surprise with each egg, and each pattern is different. This reminded me of Gaudi. If any of you know Gaudi, this is the sort of thing that he would do. So we can maybe call these Gaudi eggs. And now I'm gonna do the brown egg. So you've seen the white egg, and let's have a look how the brown egg looks. And you will just do the same process, just take off the skin. And the brown eggs actually have a lot more color on the sides where the egg, where the onion has been stuck. But it is a bit darker, so the purple color doesn't come across so well. But just look at that pattern though. Very, very bright. Now, once you've done all your eggs, the secret here is to put a bit of oil onto a cloth and just wipe each egg. This way you're just going to get rid of any excess food coloring or any onion peel, and they will shine and they'll look just fantastic. So you want to do this just before serving them, and just look at these beautiful colors. I just can't get enough. And like I said, you get different patterns with different food coloring. So do experiment, do try different colors if you like. But obviously make sure you use the onions, as that's the main key, what creates the marble effect. But yeah, just look at them. I really hope you enjoyed this super easy way on how to make these eggs. I really just love the purple, yellow, green ones. This was my favorite by far. And here's the difference. 2 eggs, one was green and one was purple. And obviously in this video I'm going to show you the second method of coloring eggs, and this method is super fun, and I actually have 2 different ways of creating the designs. First thing you're going to do is add gel food coloring of different colors into little jugs. You can use rainbow colors or whatever colors that you like. Then you're going to add about 1 tablespoon of water into each jug. And you don't want to add too much because we want a really bright color. Once you've done that, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of vinegar into each jug as well. And this will help color to stabilize. So this is an important part. Don't worry, your eggs won't smell like vinegar. Then you want to just mix these through. I'm using my earbuds as this was the easiest thing, and it also, they soak up a lot of moisture, and then you can dip them into your eggs. So just mix everything together, make sure the colors are incorporated. Now take your egg, make sure that your eggs are boiled, as we are going to be coloring them already on hard-boiled eggs. If you don't know how to boil the eggs, you just boil them in hot water for 10 minutes and then just cool them down completely. So this method is called colored spots. All you do is take different colors and just press on the tissue in different spots. You can play with colors as much as you want. Honestly, each design is unique, and it's absolutely crazy how beautiful they come out. Once you have done that, you want to press it hard on the egg and just turn it around. And if you've got any excess tissue, you can cut that off as well. I didn't show you in this part particularly, but you'll see later. So it's really important that you press hard onto your egg, but just don't break it, as you know, they are quite gentle. You can use different types of tissues. This is a patterned one, and it's quite a thick one, so the color won't transfer as much, so it'll be more pale. However, you can use any tissues that you have in a house. So I'm just going to show you one more time how to do the spotted effect. And this time I'm using different colors, a bit darker. And all you want to do, you just want to press on the spot for a long time. And as you can see as well, when the colors mix, like green, blue and yellow, it becomes green as well, which is absolutely amazing, I think. Kids love doing this, as they can use their creativity, and adults as well. It's really a fun activity to do. But make sure you use gloves and you wear gloves, as the food coloring will get into your hands and then it'll be really hard to wash it off. So as you saw just now, I cut off a little bit of paper. So if you have any excess paper, because you will need to dip it quite a lot for it to get quite wet, so just cut it off if it's any excess. And again, just press around, press onto your egg and just make sure it's nice and even, and then place it onto your plate. And you can see the patterns here are absolutely crazy. So I'm just going to do this with the rest of my eggs. This is enough to do quite a lot of eggs. I think I did 12 eggs with this mixture. So of course, if you want to do more, you just need to add more food coloring. Now I'm going to show you the second method, which I call two colors. So what you do, you pick the two colors that you absolutely love and you use them on the first half of the egg. So you put, in my case, purple and red. So I'm just going to decorate it from different sides and kind of fill in the gaps where it is purple and red. Again, you can use your imagination here and go wild, but I'm only using two colors here. So just like that, you want to press on it to make sure the colors are engraved, and you want to just set this aside. Next egg, I call this Spider-Man because it really looks like Spider-Man at the end. I was not planning to do this, by the way. This is a total accident. And you can see here I'm using much thinner tissue just to have a brighter color come through. So just put a couple of spots in different places, and then take your other color and put the spots all around where the egg is. And there it is. Doesn't this look like a Spider-Man egg? Let me know in comments below if you thought that as well. Okay, my third method is called dipping. Okay, so what you do, once you finish pretty much with coloring your eggs, you can just dip with the rest of your food coloring, one half and then the second half. This way you don't have to dip it one by one. It's a bit faster and you will have a much brighter color because it's, you know, it's been sitting there for a while and it's accumulated very strongly. So there we have green and yellow, and then I'm going to do one purple and pink because these are like my favorite colors. And that's what you do. You basically just dip them in and pretty much finish all your food coloring. So this is like a lazy method, I call, because obviously it's a lot quicker, but it does use a lot more food coloring. And like I said, I would do this as my last method. You need to leave the eggs to sit for about 30 minutes. And then once they have been sitting there for 30 minutes, you can take off the tissue. And there it is, guys. Voila, beautiful two-colored patterned egg. And I'm gonna do all of them into one plate. So these are all the methods together. But it's so exciting unwrapping each egg. I honestly feel like a child unwrapping Christmas gifts, because you just never know how it's gonna look and what you've created. And honestly, you fall in love with these patterns, and kids get super excited. Adults get super excited. Everyone basically gets excited, and they're so pretty. And this is the egg I was talking to you about with the thicker tissue. So I just want to show you, see the colors are not as bright here, so they're more gentle and baby colors. So if you prefer those to the super bright ones, then you just need to use a thicker tissue, I guess, and maybe not dip so much food coloring and use the first method of spotting. This one is exactly the same. I used it with a thicker tissue and the pattern created itself. But yeah, guys, look at these beauties. And now I want to show you, I did the same thing with brown eggs. I wanted to see how different would it be and if the colors would transfer as much as the white eggs. And the color is absolutely stunning. They're much darker and richer. So good colors to use are red, purple, and blue and green. Maybe brighter colors like yellow, they don't really come across, but I still think they look absolutely stunning. A bit darker and more rich. So at the very end, you want to put a bit of oil onto your tissue or a paper sort of wipe, and just wipe each egg with oil. This will give it nice shiny color, and they will look even more beautiful, and the colors will just pop out even more. Just look at that. Look at these beautiful patterns. This is such a cute egg. Oh my god, and this one as well. I honestly couldn't pick my favorite. I think you will have the same problem. So I do like to wipe them down because it gets rid of any excess food coloring, and also they shine. And make sure you wear gloves, guys, when you use this. But yeah, this is it. Look at these beautiful, beautiful, colorful eggs. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Here I have different types of paper tissues, and this one is super colorful with different drawings, birds and flowers and so forth. Here I've got some bees, some ducks and some birds. You're gonna need some white eggs and egg whites and a pastry brush. So first thing what you want to do, you want to take your tissue and just take off the first layer from the tissue, as we'll be gluing these onto our eggs. So it's really important that the paper is not very thick. So try and get that so you can see it's quite see-through. And what you want to do then, whichever drawing or picture that you want to put onto your egg, you want to just gently break off. And you can do this with scissors, but also working with hands and just ripping them off works really well, as the white sort of bits go into the egg and you won't see that they were sort of broken with your hands rather than scissors. But whatever is easiest for you, you can do that. So I'm just going to break all the pictures that I want to put onto my eggs from different tissues. And here you can see my pile with my birds, my goose, my bees, and different ones like frog and flowers and birds. And I just love those because they're so colorful, and they're actually blue, so we'll see. Then take your egg whites and you want to whisk this with your fork for just a couple of minutes to break down the proteins and make sure there's a little bit of foam. And you want to put your pastry brush in there. So first I'm going to show you how to do the bird. So what you want to do, you want to take your drawing, put it on top of your egg, and then just gently brush it over with your egg white. Because egg white is very sticky and dries out quickly, you don't want to put too much because you don't want to ruin the painting or the picture. And just go around with your hand to take away any creases and just to make sure it looks very, very nice and natural. It's completely up to you how many birds or pictures or whatever you might have you want to put onto your eggs. I sometimes find putting just 2 is enough, or just 1, or I'm going to do loads on this one just with different birds. You always want to use your finger as the main glue and then just add more egg white on top when you do this. If you have too much egg white, make sure you have a little bit of tissue on the side just to wipe down your hands, as you don't want to have too much of the egg whites and not leave any lines. So just keep going, and there it is. We've put like 3 birds on here. Now I'm going to show you with goose. This one is very white. The reason I'm showing you different methods is just so you can see what kind of paintings you can have on your eggs. The white ones on the white color work the best, so don't be tempted to get different colored tissues, as they won't work as much on the white eggs. So it's always best to get white tissues with like little drawings like that. And this one I find is very, very cute. It's almost like this duck or goose really did this egg. So you just want to do the same process. It's really easy. You just go around and place as many drawings as you want on top of the egg. So we're going to start with ingredients that you're going to need. Here I've got some white rice, some lentils. Everything is uncooked. And you're going to need some greens such as dill, parsley or coriander. And you're also going to need some water. Now, first thing you're going to do is combine your skin from your onions. I'm using red and brown. And you might want to just chop them up nice and fine. Just like that. We're going to be using this for the natural color. Here I've got some white eggs. You can use brown eggs as well, but I do find that with white eggs you get a lot better sort of results. And here I've got some marley or a cheesecloth, whichever you have in your kitchen. You can also get these in pharmacies. or online. I'm just using a normal cheesecloth, which I'm cutting into smaller pieces for each egg. You want to cut these enough for all of your eggs. In this case, I only just need 6, but if you were to do more, you can obviously have more. So you want to place this right in the middle, and first thing we're going to do is dip our egg into water and then dip into rice. You just want to go around and drop more rice on top, and then place that onto your cheesecloth and wrap it all around from the sides and the bottom, and make sure that it's really, really nice and tight. So this will obviously create a beautiful rice pattern. In fact, you can probably use any grains that you have in your kitchen. So just wrap this really tight and then use a sewing kit, and just make sure it's nice and stable and the egg is not gonna sort of open up when you cook. It's always a good idea to tighten it up and have a nice knot at the very end. So it should look just like that. Next egg we're going to do is with lentils. So this gives it like a nice dotted spotty look, which I think is very cute. And you can obviously add less or more depending what kind of effect or spotted effect that you want to have on your egg. And we're pretty much going to repeat the method. We're going to wrap it into our cheesecloth, sort of move it aside, make sure it's nice and tight, and then just secure it with our sewing kit and tighten it. You might want to do this for a while just to make sure it's nice and tight. Next method is really beautiful. I absolutely love this one. What you want to do, you want to dip your egg and then place your sort of choice of your leaves. You can use pretty much any leaves that you have, that they have to be fresh, and you want to glue them on top of your egg. You might want to dip the egg into wetness, or the other way around. You might want to dip your dill or parsley into water and then glue it to the egg. Either way, you just want to make sure it's nice and glued together. Once you created the pattern that you want to wrap this again and just be very, very gentle, not to ruin the beautiful drawing that we're going to create. Now wrap this tightly again and just secure it with a sewing kit. I've been boiling my onion skin, the one I showed you earlier, for about 1 hour, and it has given me this beautiful color, the natural brown color. So this is what we want. We want to cook it until it sort of reduces in size and boils to this color, and then dip our eggs inside. So I'm just dipping all of my eggs inside there, and we're going to boil them for about 10 minutes or so. And then it's best to leave it for another half an hour in the mixture to make sure that the color really comes through. And of course, don't forget to add salt, as this is an important step for your eggs not to crack. Once everything is done and your eggs have been colored, you want to just put them under cold water and let them to cool down completely until they're nice and cold. Now let's have a look what's inside and what do we have. The first egg that I got was with the beautiful parsley and dill, and you can see these leaves really came across, and obviously we naturally colored the eggs into a brownish shape with flowers, or I don't know if you can call them flowers, but they look pretty. Next one is with your rice. You might also want to wash these eggs under cold water once you've taken off the cheesecloth, just because it's all boiled and stuck to your hands. And here we go. So you will get different patterns with different eggs. And at the very end, it's really important to add a bit of oil onto your cloth and just wipe down each egg. This will give it a nice shine and preserve the color, and will just look really, really beautiful. Just look at these funny, cute little eggs. This is one of the most, easiest ways to naturally color your eggs. And they look so pretty at the Easter table, and I hope you like these. And we'll be creating these with your kids. I can't wait to see your egg creations, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.